Hey guys, and welcome to this week's video, and this is the final push in the Boatyard. Today we fix our antifoul up, which was literally dropping off, and remove all the decals from our boat, as well as giving our hull some much needed TLC. We also refit our rudder in the slings before splashing back in. Also, stick around to the end to see a little test to make sure your anode is working as efficiently as it can be. So the other day we sanded back all the rough bits on the hull, and now it's antifoul day, so I feel a bit pushed against time because it is going to rain again today. So we'll just try and crack on this morning and see how far we get. So we've masking taped all the way around, and I've put some underwater primer on all the patches that have gone back to gel coat, and just got the keel to do. So that's the hull completely prepped now for the antifoul. So I'm gonna stick my coveralls on and get straight to it. And hopefully I'll be breaking off for a bacon sandwich shortly. So I'm using Hempel black antifoul, and this is Cruising Performer. So this is kind of like a middle of the range product. I don't want to go for the top of the range because it's quite expensive, and if I'm chipping it all off next year, we used this last few years, and it seems to have done quite well. So I've managed to crack on and beat the rain, and the antifoul is now done. I've just got the rudder to do, and I have some special antifoul to go on the sail drive. I'm going to go for a coffee first, then I'm going to get on with that. So that's better. Just been to see Gav for a coffee in the marina bar. He's really busy though today because he's got a ship in. This is a 300-metre Dutch cruise liner that's pulled up this morning. We get to see a lot of cruise ships here, as Port of Tyne's cruise ship terminal is right next to the marina. So we're back at the boat now, and I'm about to start again, but just before I did, I just wanted to show you what's in this package. So we're having our hull professionally polished, and we're having all the decals taken off and the red stripe painted and new decals put on. And in here are some new decals. So we've got a boot stripe, which is going to go just above the waterline. So I've gone for grey, which will match some of the coach roof. ETAP colours are generally cream, grey, red. And we have got some new names, which are here. So we've got a new Takazar to go on the stern. That's in a similar grey to this as well. And then we've got some Takazar to go on each hull. So this is going to go on the bow in the red stripe. So these are white, and yeah, hopefully they'll look good. So Mark's already made a start with the hull, and this is what he's done so far. He started cutting back the hull, and he's using this cutting paste here. So this gets rid of all the oxidization on the hull that's been caused by like UV damage. And you can see it's really lightening the hull, which I'm so pleased about. So this is what the hull was like before. This is where I had the masking tape for the antifoul. So Mark's only done down to here, and you can see the colour difference. It is massive, and I'm so pleased because we never really liked the cream hull, but we always just thought that's the colour it was. But it's actually going to be more like off-white, so I'm really pleased about that. I think it's going to look really smart once it's all done. New red stripe, new decals. So yeah, I can't wait to see the end result. So I'm about to antifoul the sail drive leg now, Now you shouldn't use normal hull antifoul to go on the sail drive leg, as this is made from aluminium and there's a high copper content in normal antifoul, so the two metals could react with electrolysis and you could end up degrading the metal of the sail drive leg. So I've bought some special antifoul. This is International Trilux Proper Drew, and this is specially for sail drive legs and stern gear. So it's black, so it's going to match the hull, and it should be quite easy to put on as it's just a spray can. So first of all, I just need to masking tape up the anode because I don't want it to go on there, and then just a little bit around the prop here. So that's all done. It doesn't look very pretty, but it'll do the job and everything's covered up that needs to be. So that's the first coat on. It says to do a minimum of 3 coats with half an hour drying time, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm back down at the boat, just finishing off a few last minute bits. We're booked in for our lift tomorrow morning at 8 AM. So we're actually going in the slings at 8 AM, and then we need to put the rudder back on. So I think we've got up to 2 hours in the slings, and then we should be back in the water. The sail drive is done, the rudder bearings done, anti-foul done, keel treatment done, hull polish done. The only bits that aren't finished is the red stripe, which is here. That's been prepped, but we're still waiting of the paint for that. And we've got some decals which are still to go on. So we've had the grey boot stripe, that's been put on already, and that looks brilliant, really happy with that. But the rest of it can just be finished off in the water. So just for any friends and family that are not really from the boating community, that don't know what an anode is, it protects all the metal elements underneath the hull of the boat from galvanic corrosion. So when you run your boat engine, it produces like electrical energy, and that electrical energy will travel down and attack metal that's underneath the boat. So this sail drive leg is made of aluminium. It will start attacking that, which you don't want. So the anode is actually made of zinc, which is more conductive. So any electrical energy will travel down and it will attack the anode. So the anode will deteriorate first, preserving the rest of the metal underneath. And it's really important that you change your anodes once a year when you do your haul out and your maintenance, as they will get eaten away. And once the anode's gone, there's no protection there. So then the corrosion will start attacking the other metal parts of the boat. The electrical energy can also be produced from other people's boats. So when you're in a marina, any engines that are running, or even people's shore power, if their wiring is not great, can make currents that go into the water. So actually the process can be worse in a marina. So the little test that I'm going to show you to see how your anode is functioning is really simple. It's using a multimeter, and you want to set it to ohms, and we're going to do a resistance test. And what we want to be seeing is that there is an electrical current going from here to there, because if that electrical current's coming down here and it's going to there, it's going to eat away the anode. It's working properly. If there is no electrical current going through, then something is stopping the current getting to the anode, in which case the anode's useless and the electrical current will attack the sail drive. So what we want is a low resistance close to 0, which means there is no resistance, the current's flowing, and all we're going to do is touch one end on the anode and one end on the sail drive. And you've got to give it a bit of a wiggle because I have anti-foul, so I've got to get through the anti-foul. Can you see it's wiggled, and we've gone down to 0, so that shows that the current is flowing and it's working perfectly. Now if I had a resistance of 1 there, that means that the current's not getting through. It could just need taking off, cleaning at the back, make sure there's no grease, and putting back on, making sure it's actually flush against the sail drive. Another little job that I'm going to do this afternoon is just clean up all the bolts, nuts and components of the rudder stock so that they're nice and shiny and going nice and smoothly when we assemble it tomorrow. This is the top part, and then we've got a lot of the bolts in here. So if you can see, they just need a bit of a clean up with a bit of WD-40 and a wire brush. Good morning. So we've got an early start today. It's 7 o'clock in the morning and we're heading down to the boat. Today's the day. We're going back in. So we're in the slings at 8 AM for a couple of hours just to get the rudder back on, and then we splash. So hopefully it's all going to go to plan. We're not going to have any problems like any leaks or anything. And then once we're back in, we're going to give the engine a bit of a test. And yeah, hopefully it's all going to go okay. Look at the state of the decks. Looking forward to giving it a good clean up and painting these deck pads. Just sorting out lines and fenders now for when we get back in. So I've cleaned all the bolts and parts up last night for the rudder. Forgot about this though, so I'm just doing that a bit of a clean now while I'm waiting for James to come and the lift. And I've got a little bit of antifoul here ready just to touch up where the cradle was and under the keel. And that should be the colour of our cockpit. So we're looking forward to getting this polished up as well, make it a lot brighter. It's on its way. Just going to move this scaffolding tower because that will be in the way. Okay, so I did a really rubbish job of filming this. I really should have had the camera set up somewhere, but I just didn't think to do it. And this was the part that I really wasn't looking forward to, but it turned out to be really easy. So here's what happened. I held the rudder at the bottom and wiggled it into position. Then the hoist lowered the boat ever so slightly down, and I pushed the rudder shaft into the hull. And James was in the cockpit and he grabbed it when it came through the hole at the top and attached all the bolts and the tiller, and that was it. Job done. So, right, okay. We're back in the water now. It's all gone really well, really happy with it, and we've got no leaks from the sail drive or the rudder, and it actually feels like we've got a brand new tiller. It's so so smooth and actually feels connected to the boat again rather than being wobbly. So I'm now going to be spending today and tomorrow getting this boat back to being a home because it's an absolute tip. So we've got the decks are filthy, need a really good clean, and cockpit needs tidying, and inside too. As you can see, it's a mess. So that'll be it for this video, so thanks so much for watching and see you next time.